Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the PLA podcast. I have an incredible guest here that I'm truly looking forward to interviewing today. Padma, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks a lot, Dunya. And it's my pleasure to be here.
It's a true treat to have you on here. And I just want to run people through a little bit of your story and background before we jump in so they can get to know you like we've had the absolute privilege of having so at PLA. So today's guest is Padma Penumarthy, a senior staff engineer at Meta with over 20 years of experience building systems at scale. She's worked across top companies including Cisco, NetApp, VMware, Adobe, and Meta, and several startups. Known for her unique ability to bridge deep technical expertise with strong understanding of the human side of engineering careers. She grew up in Hyderabad, India, in a middle class family where education was highly valued. Developed an early passion for math and problem solving that led her to her engineering, and she moved to the US for her master's, shaping both her personal and professional journey, building her career in the Bay Area, working across distributed systems, cloud, and ad tech. Currently works on large scale systems powering the Facebook ads platform at Meta. Outside of work, she maintains a daily practice of meditation and movement to stay grounded and focused. And she brings a thoughtful perspective on technology growth and people behind the systems. Padma, welcome to the PLA podcast once again.
Thanks a lot, Dunya.
It's an absolute treat to have you on here. And I was wondering, if you were to take us back in time before this incredible, very successful career throughout the US and throughout tech, what is something you wish someone had told you at the very beginning?
Yeah, so if I reflect on it, one thing that I wish I got the advice at the beginning of my career would be that you need to be really proactive about your career and make sure that you are navigating your career well and not expecting things to happen, but you're more in the driver's seat, right? So earlier, early in my career, I think one of the things that, like obviously, like a lot of us in the same boat, especially people who come from India, immigrants, we all work really hard, and we expect that like if you do like good work, things will be taken care by themselves, right? But that is true in some cases, but not in other cases. What I like through many years of experience working in many companies, what I observed is that you need to be more intentional about your career and also have awareness. What that means is that you need to take risks, speak up, stand for yourself, and be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and ask for what you want, which is like a lot of times very uncomfortable for us, especially women and immigrant. It's very uncomfortable, but yeah, you need to learn. I feel like yeah, if I known some of these things earlier, definitely I would have shaped my career in a different way. But yeah, this is something I learned with experience, and yeah, it's a lot of it. Like some of these things are like easier said than done, because like first thing is it's about confidence. When you are early in your career, obviously like you're not as confident as you're today after 20 more than 2 decades of experience. So, and being confident, believing in yourself, and navigating your career proactively is something I feel like all of us should do, and not let just career happen, but be more intentional about it.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love this piece that you've brought up, that hard work isn't enough. And it's really pushing for visibility to be able to stand out, to accept and receive these opportunities that we may be leaving on the table in the meantime. And this other piece around growth, standing out of your comfort zone, pushing for what's next for us. I think that that's so key in what you've brought up. And hard work really, as much as we'd like to believe that's enough, that's
Mm.
oftentimes not enough for a great career, especially in tech and industries that are extremely competitive in
Yes.
a time like now.
Yeah, I think making yourself stand out, I think, is like very important, and you have to be intentional about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing that I'd love to ask you is you've had such a successful career and you've worked for some of the biggest companies. Oftentimes we talk about the great successes, the awards, the accolades, the accomplishments, but someone like you that's really achieved what some can only, admire and aspire to until they get there. What would you say were the greatest challenges of your career that were necessary to go through to end up where you are today?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dunya. I think some of the challenges I had, and I think I continue to have, are um, basically like dealing with conflicts, being in uncomfortable situations. A lot of it is about like when you are uh, in uncomfortable situations, when things are not going as you expect them to go, or you're expecting them to go. Ability to recognize and then take action, I think that is like very important. This is something I still have a challenge with, because a lot of times things will not go as you expect, especially when you're in these, like you said, highly competitive tech jobs. And so you need to think and see, like what what is happening, reflect on it. I think some of the things like I practice like meditation and journaling helped me a lot with this thing, reflecting and then seeing, okay, am I in the right environment? Am I working on the right projects? Is my work visible to people who matter? uh, these kind of things, right? And then of course, just putting your head down and thinking that some of the issues will get resolved by themselves is not definitely not a good strategy. You need to um, also think you need to do good work. I think that is like table stake, but along with that you also need to think about is all these other elements which are important for like a good career, successful career. Or when I say success, I do not mean like titles or anything like that. I would actually say that a happy career, right? You should be happy. So are you in the right environment? Are you working on the right projects? Are you working on something that actually matters? People, are you getting visibility for your work? How are you dealing with conflicts, uncomfortable situations? Yeah, these are all things are challenges. I think I got better over the years, but I would say acknowledge that I continue to have challenges in this area.
Absolutely. And it feels like, the challenges of human nature. Like so many, it's so rare to have someone that says, I don't mind conflict anytime. I'll lean right into it. That those moments of tension, and especially when, like you said, in an industry or in a line of work where things change so quickly and things oftentimes don't go according to plan. How do we deal with that? And how can we allow ourselves to build that muscle of adaptability, of
Mm.
resilience, of flexibility, and of dealing with conflict and frustration. And I think and what I really loved about your share, which is something we don't often talk about, is in especially very technical fields or very rational mind driven fields, to have a practice like meditation or journaling, which, may touch a little bit more on the right brain, a little bit more on flexibility and adaptability, more on going with the flow and
Right.
on that
Yeah.
reflective piece, is so helpful. So I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, definitely. It helps. I think reflection is a great tool, and just like even few minutes a day, just reflect on how things are going. Like what are you liking, what are you stressed about, What are some adjustments you need to make. I think all these things I feel help a lot.
Yeah. And like you had shared this piece around like, are you happy in your career? And happy may take different forms depending on the person. It might be a sense of fulfillment, a sense of challenge, as that sense of purpose. But really asking yourselves, if I'm going to go through so much challenge and stretch myself to an edge that I never even thought I would take myself to, am I really in alignment? Is this actually making sense for what I want? It may, be the greatest career someone has ever dreamed of, but it's like, is this really designed for me? And asking and taking the time to reflect will get some clarity around that piece, I think is super
Yeah,
important.
totally, totally agree. Yeah.
So, Padma, I'd love to ask you, now we've seen AI has kind of infiltrated the days, every single day, and every kind of aspect of our work and life, really. I'd love to know and get your take on AI, especially in some of these great companies. Like what is happening from your perspective of, this the adoption of AI from the masses, not just, some in high tech.
Yeah, I mean, AI is basically changing the way we work, and this is something that is fundamentally like it's a big change. So for me, right, like when first time when ChatGPT came, I was the first. I immediately started using it. So I am the one like I'm always a hands-on techie person. I geek out about things, and so when something like that came, I immediately recognized that this is actually like going to be like big in the next few years. So I always like kept up with the what is happening in this AI evolution, and like I listen to the podcast, I try out two things, and so that way, like I really I would say that I think I've done like a lot of I've used AI a lot in different aspects, both in personal and professional life. At work, I think yeah, definitely like AI has been a big thing. Like AI adoption is like a big thing, especially like at Meta where I work. There is a big push to use AI aggressively across everything we do, right? All the workflows. I would say that yeah, it is very important that everyone use AI to their advantage and offload a lot of manual work they do day to day and take advantage of what AI is offering to be more productive, to 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 make yourself like in my case like a better engineer, right? But at the same time, you also have to understand that AI is there, like you use it to like think, build, and iterate. But end of the day, you still need to have your judgment. You need to be intentional about like how you're using AI, and um, and I think yeah, be like in the driver's seat. Use AI to make yourself more productive, but it doesn't mean like your systems thinking, judgment, and other things are like important as well. Like they're not going away. In fact, in the new AI world, they are more important than before. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
It's so important. I think that, yeah, there's an absolute, like being able to properly prompt it and be able to, in some
Yes.
ways, have it, work for us as best as possible rather than driving it or feeding it blindly is so important. And that may be actually, I love that you brought this up because that may be a trap that a lot of people fall into of, getting caught up in what it can do for us versus, wait a minute, what can it do and how can I make sure that I'm driving it in the direction I need it to go
Yes.
to be able to get to the results that I'm trying to create?
Yeah, some AI can go wrong, and when it goes wrong, you need to be able to like debug the problem, understand, and how do you like whatever AI is giving you, can you question it? Can you be
Yeah.
more? intentional about it, right? Yeah, all these things are important. So I think some of these things like intuition, understanding the systems deeply, and understanding all the edge cases, all these things are much more important in this AI world than before. So
Absolutely.
that's like, yeah, that's what I think.
Wow, I love it. I love it. And what was, I have this question for you. What was this moment in your career that changed how you think about growth and success?
So I worked in over more than 2 decades. I worked in like different tech companies, experienced different environments and things like that, right? But there are moments in my career where I felt like my growth is stalled. Probably because I am not in the right environments, and I feel like recognizing that and taking action is like really important, because again, I think it comes back to like what I was saying earlier, like reflection and
Yes.
awareness and being intentional about things.
Mhm.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the theme that's coming up that I want to ask you a little bit more about is this piece around being in the right environment. And what, that I actually would love to ask you a follow-up question. I'm sure so many people out there that are listening to this podcast and the recording, they're asking themselves, am I in the right environment? Is it maybe not the right environment, or am I not making the most of the environment that I'm in? And I'd love for, you to share a little bit
Right.
more on that. So many people are probably stuck in that situation. And how can they tell in some ways the difference between not being in the right environment or simply not making the most of the environment that they're being given?
Yeah, that is actually such a good question, Dunya. I mean, let me just talk about a bit. So, like in my experience, right, I've been in environments where I was strive. I mean, where I was doing really well, and my contributions were recognized. I was getting like great projects, as well as I'm also in environments where I was working really hard, but I felt like my impact is not landing the way I wanted it to be. And it could be multiple reasons, right? One is that maybe the way you are putting yourself out there, um, and like, are you showing up your at your best, right? So you need to like reflect on it sometimes, like, making changes from your side. I did make changes, basically, like, continuous reflection, all these things helped me a lot. So I made changes on my side, and then that helped me, like, instead of struggling, I think I switched gears, and then I went into like more into a growth mode. That happened, and basically taking advantage of whatever the environment is offering to me, at the same time conscious about what is that I am that is lacking, but see like what you can make the best out of what is available, right? But even then, sometimes you might be in a place where, like, even with all your effort, things may not be moving in the right direction. That's when you need to take action and then see, like, what you want to do about it, because being in such an environment for too long is not also good for your career growth. So this is also comes back to the same thing I was telling earlier. Then you have to take a risk,
Yeah.
then take a risk, make a change, do what is needed. So you are always in this growth mode, and also, like, yeah, in a happy place.
I love this, Padma. You bring up some key points. I think that the biggest part of your message that stands out is, that reflection is key to be able to tell the difference. The reflection then leads to what actions do I need to take that is part of my responsibility. Whether, and that's not even getting to the place just yet of, is this for me? Is this not for me in terms of environment or place and opportunity? But what are certain actions that I'm being invited into being able to take responsibility of, like, what's the change, what's the growth, what's the transformation, and then getting to a place of saying, wait a minute, I've done my part. Now maybe it's no longer, the right space, the right
Yeah,
opportunity.
that's
And
it.
yeah, what decisions and actions need to be taken to be able to move on to something that may be a better fit? And
Correct.
same thing goes both ways, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah. But always, like, you should give your 100, I would say like 200% in whatever like environment you're in, whatever company, job, what, right? That is like a table stake. But still, I feel like that is not enough, right? So you need to, that's why I think it is important. Like, just blindly working and thinking that good work is enough is not enough. That is not enough. So you need to always, like, um, think and then see what is working out, what is not working out, and what changes you want to make, and how to be intentional about these changes.
Yeah. Beautiful. And like what changes you may not be able to create in this kind of space, even though there's a desire to.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's right.
That realization isn't always easy for us.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely not. And taking action also is not easy.
So true. So true. I'd love to know, for engineers to actually stand out, and this oftentimes comes up for a lot of them in their careers, more than just doing good work. What do most engineers get wrong about this? I'd love to know, how does an engineer truly stand out in their work in their career? And where does an engineer oftentimes may fall in the trap of kind of following the system and structure of everybody else, not being able to stand out?
Yeah, I think again this goes back to the same theme, like I was talking about. Yes, I think doing good work is definitely like a table stake. All of us have to be like good at what we are doing, but that is not enough. For any, like, someone to stand out, right? You need to couple. I would say, like, first end to end ownership, not just like do whatever work that is given to you and like be really good at it, but you need to understand first, like, the business use case, like what are you trying to do, and have end-to-end ownership, communicate, and be cognizant of the fact that it is very important to be visible and make your, like, communicate your work to the people that matter. And yeah, like, for me, like, a good engineer is one who understands the business well, not just like on the engineering side of things, but also on the business side. And end of the day, like, business outcomes are really important, so focus on that. And then so understand the big picture, have end-to-end ownership, have the clarity, communication, and um, like, make your work visible to others, and communicate in a way that others understand that impact you're creating, not not like, just and you need to have like big picture. At the same time, you also need to be able to go like 10,000 feet down and fix problems if needed. So I think these are the kind of skills you need to, like, consciously develop for you to stand out, because everybody is working hard. Like, most of the people, like, especially in the tech industry, are really good engineers, um, and there's no doubt about that, right? So how do you stand out? You need to work on some of the soft skills.
Oh, I love the vision that comes up is this piece, like you said, like getting the big picture, being able to see the entire system and structure of the organization, the business, and what they're trying to achieve, while also
Yes.
coming down to the minute level and the details and being able to get in the weeds and really fix, those tiny little tweaks that need to get done.
Yeah.
So it's almost like changing their ability to see their part to play in the whole, and then the whole compared to their part to play, and
Yes.
continuously changing their perspective and vision. So I really love that you brought that up.
Yeah, you need to be flexible, about this part. Like, you need to be, like, very elastic. Like, you need to be able to present the business outcomes, and like what is the impact to the executive leadership, right? But when you are working with the engineers, you need to like really go deep. I mean, end of the day, you need to actually have the systems work, so you need to have the deep knowledge as well. So how do you adapt yourself so that you can operate in these two different spaces, and be comfortable switching from one to other easily? I think this is a skill that you need to like really master. It takes time and it comes with experience, but if you're intentional about it, I think you can become really good at it.
Wow, I love it. And this leads me to my next question. As a woman who spent pretty much 2 decades in tech, being a woman in high tech, I'd love to get your perspective. And what do you wish more women knew around, what it's like to be in tech, et cetera?
Yeah, so tech is basically, like I would say, there are a lot of opportunities, and then there are challenges as well. Opportunities, I would say that like over the last 25 plus years, tech has seen like tremendous amount of growth, and there were like so many new things that are coming up, especially with the AI evolution. It's going to be a lot happening in the tech in for next few years to come as well. So that gave me an opportunity to work on really complex real world problems at scale, and that I think is an opportunity that I'm grateful for. And for a person like me who is like intellectually curious, this has been very rewarding. But everything is not rosy, right? Like there are a lot of challenges as well. When like especially in the tech industry, like we discussed, I think some of the challenges are like how you're going to um, not like just keep working, but also make your work visible to others, how you make your voice heard, because a lot of times um, you are in places where you're not able to speak up, or your voice is not heard, right? So you need to see how you can make your voice heard, how you make can make your presence felt, and how like network with the people, and how you show up, how you communicate. All these things are challenges, especially for women and immigrants. um, and it takes time to build these skills, it takes time to build the muscle for these soft skills. But if you are aware of it and you practice, I do not think these are like a big deal. It's not easy, but it's not like something you cannot do either, right? It's like if you practice with the right mindset, and also like be confident in yourself. A lot of times what happens is we have this self doubt, and we do not feel confident that we have a place in the room, right? That's why we don't speak up. That's why we just take work and then feel comfortable doing good work, and then feel that, oh, this is going to be recognized. But you need to like make this change. Okay, doing good work is important, and that is a must, but also work on these other aspects of visibility, and making yourself heard. And don't yeah, I feel like these are some challenges that are there, especially for women and immigrants. I do not know, I mean, it may not be like specific to women and immigrants, but they might feel it more.
Yeah.
But I feel the some of the challenges I'm talking about are for everyone. But yeah, for women and immigrants, it might be a little bit more challenging, because we are not exposed to these kind of environments, or like having that internal confidence, right?
Yeah.
Self doubt is another thing. So one thing I think I really want to do, like I really want to focus on, is helping people who are struggling with these kind of things, help them figure out the issues, and then see like how to make progress, like how to move forward. um, this is something I'm really passionate about, and I want to like help other engineers grow in their career with my learnings, if like I want to do my part.
That's amazing. Such a beautiful way to give back and to lean into legacy.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Padma, we are on the PLA podcast, so of course I have to ask you, what drew you to a community like PLA originally?
So uh, when I was I think I just got this random thing on Facebook, like ad, and then like the message that Venkat and Vamsi put out there, uh, that was like resonated with me very much. And then I was curious, so I joined a 5-day workshop. And then every single day I was thinking, okay, I mean, first day I joined, I didn't even know that it was a 5-day workshop. I was listening to Vamsi and Venkat, but everything that they were saying, right, it resonated with me like so much. Yes, I think um, we all, like, like lot of things, like be proximity with people who are striving, right, being in the 1% leadership club, and visibility, like communication, all the things. And everything I struggled with in my career for a very long time is exactly what they are talking about. And I was like, every day, like I was thinking, oh, I tomorrow I don't have time, but I when the time came, I just could not stop myself. So I attended all the 5-day workshop, and then I had to join the program. After that, I was thinking they're just talking exactly like what I had problems with, all my problems. And I felt like this is like such a great opportunity to be learning and be part of this journey. Yeah. So, and even today, I feel like this is totally worth every single minute of my time, energy. I mean, PLA takes work, right? It's not just okay, join and then you take it easy. Like you have to spend time. But I'm learning so much. I mean, it has been a transformative experience for me.
That's incredible, Padma. And it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have you in PLA. And like you said, if you put in the work, you can get unbelievable, tremendous amount of results
Yeah.
and just such growth and evolution through it.
Thanks so much, Dunya. It's a great. It's my pleasure to be part of this podcast, and it's so nice talking to you.
It's been an absolute treat having you on as a guest and hopefully have you on once again in the future. Looking forward to it as always. And to everyone who tuned into today's episode, I hope you got an immense amount of value like I have, and looking forward to seeing you for the next PLA podcast episode. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Dunya. Yeah, take care.
Thank you. Thank you.